what I would want to ask you is just with that time and that distance away from the network, what is your actual perception of the people that follow Trump, the people that believe in Trump, the American people that support him and want to see him back in the office? Like, what do you actually believe about those individuals?
One, that you don't have one individual, right? You have different groups of people who support, whether it's Trump, whether it's any alternative to the left, right? You're going to have different buckets of people. So, did Hillary Clinton make a mistake calling Trump supporters deplorables? Of course. Of course. That's easy. Did she mean it the way that it came out?
Yes.
Probably.
Of course.
I don't know.
That's easy.
I don't know. I know this much. I know she says no, but you don't have to care about her answer. But that's politics, and that's media. Did Kellyanne Conway mean what was ascribed to her when she said alternative facts? No. It's not, this is your reality, this is my reality. What time is it right now? That's a fact. What's the temperature? That's a fact. How many people are on this stage? That's a fact. You say the only thing that matters is what time it is. I say it actually matters more what the temperature is. I'm using an alternative fact to make a different argument. It's not different realities. That's what she meant. Did the media give her the benefit of that? Hell no. Why? Hate her. Wanted to beat her down. Kellyanne's been a friend of mine for over 30 years. So I understand this. That's the way it gets played. Clinton made a mistake. Clinton made a mistake. I had a very strong feeling that Donald Trump was going to be president of the United States in 2015 and 2016. Why? The rallies and the truth of the grievance and the disaffection that he became a proxy for. I often, not just because it's alliterative, but I often refer to Trump as an agent of animus, as an agent of grievance, that there is a big group of this country that has very legitimate, if different, concerns, whether it's values-based, economic-based, what we're now calling democracy, but is really just about having honest brokers that you give your power to, right, to lead you. I often say, I just wish you had picked a better agent, because the grievances are very legitimate. And it was a mistake to understate them. It was a mistake in any situation, as we both know. It is always a mistake to discount how somebody feels when they're in pain or when they're scared or when they're angry. The worst thing that you can do as a parent, I'm sure, well, you're just getting into the game, but listen to the ghost of Christmas future for you with the kids. When your kids are upset and you look at them and you say, you know, you really shouldn't feel like that. You should. That's going south immediately. Works great with spouses also, by the way. So in politics, you don't blame people for how they feel, right? My father used to joke and say, nobody's ever going to say to you, hey, you don't like your taxes? Make more money. Be more valuable to the economy, and you won't have to worry about what you pay as much. You're not getting their vote, I promise you that. So I think that the mistake that they made was not speaking to the people that Trump wound up representing. Instead, they just decided to blame them for their feelings and say, you're an idiot to vote for Trump. So instead of talking to me about why I'm voting for Trump and what worries me, you're telling me I'm stupid to feel the way I feel? I'll see you at the polls. That was the mistake. I would argue they're still making that mistake. Last night's speech was a very low bar, as we were talking before. I don't know, you know, if you're my opponent, if somebody had asked me if we were in like a debate setting, first of all, I wouldn't have agreed, all right? Because I don't need another beating for no good reason. And you're going to be much better at that than I am. But I would set a very high bar for Candace Owens. I'm telling you that right now. I would be like, you know, she better beat me on every point, 10 out of 10. Otherwise, she's had a bad night. I would not say, I hope that she doesn't trip walking up onto the stage and not remember her name for the next, you know, you set a low bar like that for the president, you're asking for him to get over it. And the bar that was set was, gee, I hope Biden doesn't stroke out during the speech tonight. Okay, he didn't stroke out. What a great night for the president. I mean, this is really poison for us as a people. And you should always have high expectations, right? I mean, again, forget politics. What do you say with your kid? Hey, I hope you pass today. You know, unless it's a driving test, you're really hoping for a little bit better than that, right?
But Chris, do you regret some of the language that you used in talking to Trump supporters? Because I'm willing...
Me personally?
Yeah.
No, because I didn't talk to supporters that way. Again, you get blamed for the outlet. You get blamed for who's around you. You get blamed for what happens. Like, there's a clip that flies around the internet of one of my former colleagues saying why he didn't want anybody on the show or on CNN who didn't feel certain ways about vaccination. And I am in the split screen listening to him like this, which is like my resting face, right? Which is just like general dyspeptic, you know, like I have indigestion. And it goes around as a clip as if that's how I feel, because I'm on the screen at that time. It's not how I felt. It's not what I ever said. I never said you're stupid to vote for Trump. I said what I will say, which is I wish you had a better agent for your feelings and for what you want to happen. And I feel like that about both choices you're faced with right now. And I am actually encouraged by the fact that better than 2 out of 3 of you don't like your choices. I like that. I like that you're getting it, that this system has failed you. When Trump and Biden is the best that America can do, we're not living up to our potential. And I think that there are things that need to change that would make it better. What do I regret? And Patrick and I have talked about this, the guys and I have talked about this. It's really hard to have a huge screw up, failure, whatever in your life, and come away with it not saying next time I'll do it differently. Because there is never a universe in which any of my people, my brother, obviously, but the family that I choose in my life, that I'm not there for them. There is no scenario where that happens. And I'm only half as dumb as I look. It's not like I didn't think that my brother being in trouble wasn't going to get on me some way. But I would never not be there for him. And so I can't say I would do it differently. I just wish that I had been smarter about understanding how bad it was going to get for me. In terms of how I did the job, you know, you'd always like a second chance that you do, you know, when you do things in life. But that's not the way life works. You only try to correct it going forwards. You know, at CNN, nobody had people from both sides as much as I did on my show. It's not even a close call. And it's because I've always had the same feeling. One, these people are not my enemies, okay? I had no problem walking into his house with this phalanx of, you know, capable knights that he has here. And when people heard that I was going on his podcast the first time, they were like, boy, you really do hate yourself, huh? This is the beat. And I was like, this is gonna be fine. These guys don't know me. And they don't know what I'm about, and they're judging me by being on CNN, which I don't think is fair about the outlet, but certainly is not fair about me. So, do I wish I had said more early on? You know, this guy's gonna win, by the way. This guy's gonna win. I've never seen people behind someone like this before. I've never been to rallies like that before, for anyone. Obama didn't even have rallies like that. Yeah, but it's easy to feel confident about it after it happened, you know? But we're not, you know, my business doesn't work where when you say something, I say, Candace, that's not the right way to put it, the way you just put it. That's not the way the media works. You don't do that to your own when you broadcast. Now, you can say you don't like that, you do like that. But you can search all day long, and he's got great people who do it. You're not going to find me saying people who vote for Trump are bad people. That they're deplorables, that they're stupid, that you're stupid to feel this way, that you're wrong to care about what's being taught to your kids.
I want to make this very clear so everybody understands it. After last time you were on the podcast, the world now knows you're voting for Trump.
100%.
I mean,
100%.
Listen, so because when
there's a better chance of me eating my own hand, by the way. I just want you to know.
So here's a question I got for you. I want to follow up with this because you and I think it's important to kind of see how you respond to this. When I asked the question from your last time when you were here, you were like, I said, so based on what you're saying, it sounds like you're open to the idea. And you were like, well, open, yes, and you kind of left it open, right?
Yeah.
Then within 2 hours, you're trending on Twitter, and you're like, what the hell just happened here? And the trending topic was, Cuomo is voting for Trump.
Yes.
So then all your friends came after
Great
you
day.
saying how, so it was a wonderful, tell us about that day and what's changed since, did the mob get you to go back to Biden? So what happened with that, the power people that called you? Did they bully you? What happened?
This was first of all, nobody bullies me. It was a nice exercise.
We're here, though. We'll protect you if they
Thank
do that
you.
to you.
I need it.
Yeah.
I need the protection from the lawsuits that result when I protect myself. It was a nice exercise in what's wrong. Okay, and look, you've been in the same position. Here's what happened. It is not my job to tell you who to vote for. I've never done that. It's really not my job to tell you who I would vote for. Although, you know what? I've been reconsidering what transparency in the media really means and what should be involved with it. And people probably should say, I told you, he fact checks you in like real time.
No. Siri doesn't believe you.
So I know, it's like Siri, he's got Chat GPT on my head, it's like everybody's got. But here's what happened. Thank you very much. Here's what happened. I don't tell you who to vote for. I shouldn't. Should you be open to voting for Trump? Of course. Figure out what is in your best. Be selfish. What is best for you, for your family, for your community, for what you care about? That's it. Don't think party. The party is not there for you. You don't even know what the party's about. I say it to Democrats too. What are you about? Except the GOP is evil. You've allowed this to become a reductive battle of where it's, does he have dementia? Is this guy really demented? So it's madman or dead man. That's your choice. And you're okay with that. So be open. All voters should be open. Am I open? No, I'm not as open as you. Why? Because I have my own feelings for me and my own judgment. And as I said that day, next part of the problem, context. There is no context. There are only gotchas. So I said, if the former president is betting on my vote to get back in, he's going to have a bad day. That part doesn't get picked up. Why? Not helpful to the media who want to frame me as a changed man because I've gone bad on the media because of what happened to my brother. It's all BS, but it works. And so they attacked me. They attacked me for coming on here. They're going to crush me for sitting down and having a conversation with Tucker Carlson. And that is all part of the problem. The problem is, this morning, I'm talking to people about this, about you. You did very well in the analysis, by the way. I had to keep asking different people. How do you feel about Candace Owens? I was looking for some ammo. I got none. And they would say, I don't have a lot of conversations about this because, people are so divided. That's the problem. Vinny and I were just talking about it. We used to have conversations about this all the time. You didn't think that I was a bad person if I said that I owned a gun, unless I said I was going to take it and come to your house because I was mad at you. Then you had a problem with me. Now, somebody's evil because they believe differently than you. I'm telling you, that's not a natural inclination. That has been foisted upon you by the people in power who benefit from the division. It only works for the parties. It doesn't work for you. A shrinking electorate works for the parties. It doesn't work for you. Anger and division works for the parties. It is so much easier for
Candace,
me to beat Candace by showing that she's wrong than showing that I'm better.
What do you think about what he's saying?
Everything he's saying sounds good. It's just not the Cuomo I remember on CNN. So I'm always hopeful that people in the retrospect...
I think it's the CNN you don't remember when Cuomo was on
I always just wish that people in the retrospect, because everybody understands humanity, everybody understands change, everybody understands that circumstances makes you see things differently. I remember CNN and you and your brother outside of CNN being really harsh on Trump supporters, and I don't mind that you've distanced yourself from that in a bit, but I think people would appreciate, acknowledging that period of time definitely did happen. And then what I would say is, you guys, the network also brought us the Me Too movement, and then in the end, your brother got bit by the same bullet that you guys were pretty much throwing at everybody else, which is like a woman makes an allegation, it's got to be accepted, and a man's life has to be ruined. And so I think that people watching it are watching right now are just going to be like, dude, come on. You know,
but I'm not an apologist from the outlet. I only control what I say.
And you said a lot.
You can't name one thing that I said.
I got to be honest, outside of the clips that circulate, I was not the #1 CNN watcher, but I do know that you're going to live by whatever you're saying right now, because if I can tell you one thing about Trump supporters, they're good on finding the clips and putting it side by side. They were going to have you in 2016 saying something, and then they're going to have you right here saying, I've never said that.
You can do it, but just if you got to be right about the clip.
If you can ever look backwards and say, I have no regrets, nothing could change, I was great, I just question your sincerity, because I have regrets and changes about every chapter of my life. And so to hear you say that you have none.
But that's not what I said. Which is, of course, part of the problem.
You said a lot of words to say, I never said anything on the network. Things are being attributed to me that I never did. That's pretty much what your answer was,
But that's also the truth.
Okay.
I don't
Like I said, the Trump supporters are fast. Before we get up from this table, they're going to have something you said next to you saying that. I'm just telling you. That's why I always try to be honest.
The better chances, and again, I'm not new to this, okay? And I understand the game. And sometimes it's entertaining. Sometimes it's ruinous to getting anywhere that could be deemed progress, but that's not really the point. The point is to get paid. The point is to get a following. The point is to stoke anger. And I don't think Trump voters are a monolith. I think they're being forced to be a monolith. I live in a county that's Trumpy, in a village that's Trumpy. I'm a fisherman and I'm a fighter. And most of the guys that I'm with are Trump supporters, okay? So I understand it. And I don't believe in the color of the collar. I believe in where people's values are. It doesn't matter if you wear a tie or you wear a set of overalls. It's about what's in your head and what's in your heart. You can find whatever you want, but what's going to happen most likely is that you're going to take a clip that somebody put together for you online that is manipulated, and it will suit an agenda, and you will go with it, and you'll play gotcha. And I just don't, you do it, knock yourself out. I just don't think it gets you to a better place.
Okay, if you have no regrets and you think that your record was perfect.
I always have regrets.
Saying the exact opposite.
No, I'm saying this. I don't have any regrets about helping my brother. I don't know what I would have done differently.
No, not about
I'm
that.
saying
just
in terms of my time at CNN.
The network and you know.
I don't control what a network does. I don't control what News Nation does.
Your time at the network.
I said, in answer to the question, do I wish I had said things differently that would have been more reflective of a reality I saw coming? Yes, but I wasn't in the business of demonizing people for voting one person or another. I will never apologize for pointing out when a politician or a person in power goes out of their way to not tell the truth, to divide, and to manipulate. The answer is, yeah, but you got to do it to both sides. Yes, you're right. You have to do it to both sides. But it doesn't mean that it's coming at you the same way from both sides. What Hillary said about the Trump people was stupid for her to say, and she really paid a price for it. But to say that everything is equal, that's a false parody, and it doesn't help people.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.